I was waiting for time, and I asked God that I will share with everybody what you've done after 2-year period. So November में 2 साल पूरे हो गए, and I think it's time for me to share with people. मैंने pastor साहब से 10 से 15 मिनट का टाइम मांगा है. हो सकता है थोड़ा ऊपर चला जाए. I will try to, but I think it's worth it because we'll be talking about what God has done in my life and what God can do in your life. Because He's same God, right? And in this testimony, I may get emotional. So please forgive me. I'm an emotional person, and I talk a little bit more. My dad used to say, "Kitni lambi zuban hai teri." I used to kind of argue. So if I digress, I will not try to digress. I'll stay on focus. लेकिन जो भी मैं कहूँगा related होगा जो testimony उसके साथ. Psalm 96. It says, "Sing a new song to the Lord." खुदा के हुजूर एक नया गीत गाओ. Let the whole earth sing to the Lord, right? और उसके बाद लिखा है sing to the Lord, और फिर reason देता है second verse में, praise His name, and then reason come right after that. Each day proclaim the good news that He saves, right? So it's a reason that you tell people good news that He saves. Third में publish His glorious deeds among the nation. Make it known. Nations who don't know God. And for I think those who know God, people here, to encourage them. Sing to Him a new song. Tell everyone about the amazing things He does. And that's what I'm going to do. Tell everybody the amazing thing He has done in my life. When we say sing to the Lord a new song, गीत तो एक ही है, हम उसको एक ही गीत को हम संडे पे गाते हैं. New song, I understand, and theologians are sitting here, more people. So, but what my understanding is, I may be wrong. New song mean एक नए जज्बे के साथ. There's a new, every time somebody does to you, you may say thank you, but the feeling is different. And that happens, a new song, the new feeling when we walk with God. Like Ravi Sahib can say, so what's new? So what new God has done for you? Let's thank Him differently today. And that happens when we walk with God regularly. So new things happen, and every time we come, oh, this is a new thing God has done, and I thanked Him in a new way, because that was totally different. So, coming to the point, आपको पता है, many people know, but my name is Samson, by the way, who people don't know me. My wife Olga is sitting there, my family at the back. 4 साल पहले, my wife was diagnosed with tongue cancer. Many of you know some, and she was the last person to have the tongue cancer. Never smoked. The only thing is that she was close to Chernobyl. The Chernobyl radiation. If you know that, is a very. So she was affected by the radiation. So the only possibility was that, but never smoked, never did anything. The last person to have cancer on the tongue. And we were shocked. We went to the doctor. I still remember doctor's name, Dr. Stackler, here in Dallas. One of the well-known, worked at MD Anderson for 20, 30 years. Very well-known doctor. I went to see him, and he said, we'll just, slice it off. And he did it, sliced it off, checked the margins, everything was clear, and he said, it will not come back because a person like you should never have it. And he said it's a bad luck. That's what the word he used. तो तकरीबन 2 साल हो गए सर्जरी की, और 2 साल खत्म होने से 1 महीना पहले it came back. And when cancer comes back, it's a scary thing. And we went back, and he said, this is not good. So he said, now I have to do a major surgery, 6-hour surgery. I didn't share details with many of the people because that was but many of you know. So he did surgery like for at least 5 hours. I know that I was there. So they removed it, and then he cut like a piece from here, patched it on her tongue because they removed a big chunk of tongue, and very intensive surgery. And but now he said, because the cancer has come again, I would like you to go and see a radiation oncologist, because the mouth has been compromised, they call it, and it can come anywhere now. Because after the first, it was a clean thing first time, we'll say fine, but now it has come here. Now it can come here, it can come, we don't know where has it gone. And that was a very scary news for us. It's a matter of life and death for us. I have little children, so So then I said, okay, radiation, we go radiation, they will do radiation on that area, and we'll fine, we'll get over with it. We went to radiation oncologist. The guy, the doctor, he sits, last name Berg. He sits on 15th and Coit Road. There's a medical center there. He looked at it and he said, yeah, you have to do radiation. Because now, he said, we don't know where has it gone. And so we have to radiate the whole thing, the whole jaw, everything, because we don't want to leave any area out. What are the consequences? He said, your whole jaw will be like wood. No blood circulation there. So if you have infection, the tooth comes out, it will never heal. Your salivary glands will be gone. You will not have saliva anymore. And in radiation, when we do that, it's like an 8-week course. She may get blisters in her mouth so bad that she may not be able to eat. So if that happens, we'll poke a hole in her tummy. And that was not, I was not expecting that. That was totally different. I thought it would be radiation just from the tongue and then we'll be done with it. It is horrible. It was the pain would be horrible. And he said, we'll give her painkillers and all that. And I said, well, it's time for us to get a second opinion. So I started calling around in desperation, actually. So I went online and looked at the doctor's name at Southwestern Medical Center. We got a doctor and I went to see him, myself and her. Appointment, I still remember sitting in the office. There was a nurse and the doctor sitting there and he looked at it and he said, I'm not a radiation oncologist. I do chemotherapy. So I don't know what to say. He said, I'll refer to another doctor. His name is Dr. Gordy, I still remember, at Southwestern Medical Center. Went to see him and he looked at it and he said, yes, you do need radiation because the mouth has been compromised. We don't know what's going to happen. And this is a sensitive area. If it goes into your throat, lung, it's bad, God forbid. And now things are getting scarier. Things are getting worse. Say, okay, how about we go to MD Anderson in Houston? So I called MD Anderson, I sent them an email, and one of the doctors accepted it. He said, yes, I will take your case. The lady doctor, come over. Went over there, saw her initial meeting, and she looked at the reports and all the stuff, and she said, yes, we'll do the radiation. And she said, but I want you to see that dentist, because your teeth, if it go bad after that, we will not be able to pull them out. So whatever teeth is bad, we'll pull it out right now. So we went and to the doctor, the radiation, the dentist saw it. He said, your teeth look good, so we don't have to pull anything out, so that's a good news. Come next week, and this specialist, this guy is one of those guys who all their lives, all they spent in the lab. Looks like in the basement, all he did was research. Very, very experienced guy, I forgot his name. Complete gray-haired guy, old guy. He said, we see, and he's an expert, and he will tell you if you need to do radiation or not for sure. Next week, we went back to MD Anderson in Houston. At a meeting with him, he came in, and one of the doctors there was a lag in his response. It was funny that you tell him, doctor, we came from Dallas. No reply. 2 minutes later, he will smile. Like he just processed that information. One of those guys, like a very funny guy. So sitting there and he said, where is the report? I said, we emailed your report 2 weeks ago. He said, I didn't get it. And he said, okay, let me ask my nurse to print it for me and bring it. He asked his nurse, the nurse printed it, brought it back. He looked at the report and it's a matter of life and death for us. She's not a typical case. She should have not gotten that cancer because never smoked, nothing. It was a totally out of the book case, not a book case. He looked at like a 2 minutes of the report. He said, yeah, she needs radiation. That's it. And suddenly I felt, and she felt, that there is something wrong. There was no peace in that room. And sometimes she scares me. Her dad also scared me. Her dad said, leave the doors open at night. No need to, because God will protect you. And that's the kind of family she comes from. And he said, one time we were talking about guns, and he said, no, you don't need guns. We need Jesus. He said, what if somebody comes and kills you? He said, that's fine. I'll go to Jesus. He said, yeah, but we don't need God. She comes from that kind of family. So she said, right after we came out of the room, she had a big stack of reports, because we are desperately going and showing it to the doctors. And we felt, I said, just one doctor tell us that you don't need radiation. There's another option. But nobody was telling us. Nobody, everybody said you need radiation. This specialist said you need radiation. Like, I think he was about 7 years old. The guy, all his life he dealt with cancer. He said you need radiation. And the first doctor who did her surgery, he said, be very careful. Do what doctor tells you to do. And he used these words. He said, don't try to pray this cancer off. Those are his words. He said, don't try to pray it off. It means that don't depend upon prayer. Do what I'm telling you to do. Go do radiation. So this guy, we're in the room and he said, radiation. No peace. I said, he didn't even look at our report for 2 minutes. My goodness. And he just pushing us through the assembly line that, by the book, okay, go, radiation. He doesn't know what we're dealing with. It seems like he didn't care about us. I mean, very, very clear. They felt that nobody's caring about us. They said, okay, one more, go. No feeling at all what we are going through. And I said, there is something not right. And she came out of the room and she said, big stack of reports. And she said, I reject everything. The whole stack of report, she threw it in the trash right there. And I still remember that day. Whole stack of reports, she said, in the trash. She said, that's it. We are not doing radiation. We are going home and we're trusting God for everything. And that's how she did that. And it scared me. I said, my goodness. I mean, we need radiation. And the thing is, radiation must be done, I think, 4 or 8 week period after the surgery. If it's not done within 8 weeks, then that basically really doesn't matter. And after that was the last week. And she threw the report and I said, what should we do now? It is already 8 weeks. 1 week more will be gone if we set up a new appointment. So we are done, right? So we are toast, right? That's what they say. So, and I still remember, अगर आप Houston में उस area में गए हैं, जो medical district है Houston का MD Anderson, there's a big parking area, a park over there, walking trail and all this stuff. And I say after that, we were walking and we stood in that, on the trail. And I felt suddenly the radiation period is gone. Her mouth has been compromised. The cancer has come twice. And we have no protection. So I was in that open field, felt we are alone. Nobody cares. Doctors don't care. Nobody else knows. Our fight, we are fighting a life and death fight. And all the arrows are coming at us. And we're at the mercy of the arrows. Mercy of the cancer, actually. We're done. And that I stood and I asked God, I said, God, here's my story. I mean, we are done. We have no protection. We're in the open field. Arrows are coming. And unless you do something, we're dead. That was my prayer. And I said, I give everything in your hand. Because what can we do? Nothing. So we came back. So now radiation is gone. We are just waiting. Personally, I'm just waiting for the cancer to come back in her mouth. Because doctor said it come twice. And this time he said it will come sooner. Because already things are taking place in her mouth. First it came after 2 years, 1 month less, so what, 23 months. This time it will come sooner. And okay, 4 months, 2 months have gone by. Maybe next month it will come back. We'll see something happening. I don't know what to do. Like I said, by myself in open field, arrows are coming, nobody cares, and we are alone. So that's a situation I felt that I was in. Then one day I realized, I say, it's my fight and my opportunity to know who my God is that I've been. My parents, my grandfather, my father worshipped, and they passed it on. My time to find out about this God. I remember my grandfather waking up early in the morning, singing hymns. My father doing the same thing, my family, and I said, my time to test this God. I started to pray. I have a closet in the bathroom where all the clothes hang. I would go there, I lock it, and I will pray. And pray, I mean, you know that I'm not, I wish that I would pray like many people do, like in front. I don't do it. I mean, my prayer is more straightforward. But nobody knows how I prayed, only I and God knows in that closet. So what happened in that closet? Stayed in that closet. So nobody knows, only I know and God know how I prayed. Kept on praying. I said, God, that's it. We're done, and do something for us. Because now, basically, we don't have anybody. I kept on praying every day, every night. I said, God, talk to me. I said, I want you to talk to me. That what should we do? Or at least tell me that you are in the story. That you are part of it. We are not alone. ताकि पता तो लगे कि तू है situation. उसके बाद अगर मर भी जाए तो कोई बात, at least we know that you are there. Like Abraham. Abraham was not concerned about killing, sacrificing his son, because he knew God is in the picture. He has such strong faith. I said, at least show me that you are here. You are with us. And then say, okay, I want you to die. Then we'll say, but at least show me something. That was my prayer. And one day, I kept on every week after week, day after day, and I have notes, handwritten notes actually at home. I forgot to bring it today because I didn't know I had to pray. But Rabbi said, thank you very much. So I wrote notes, even the prayer, what I did. And then I said, talk to me. And I said, if you come into this closet right now, that'll be wonderful. I would love to see you in front, like many people. I said, that'll be the ultimate. If not, let me hear a voice. If not, the Bible is your word, right? Speak to me through the Bible at least. Do something. So every day I will pray. I'll open the Bible, and I will write down the verse that will first come to, that I will see. And I will write down the verse. That on this day, I prayed this, and this is the verse that showed up. I have handwritten like this, thick handwritten notes at home. For my own future, I'll tell my children that that's what happened to me. One day, I'm just praying, and these were my words. I said, God, nobody's fighting our fight. I have not heard from you either. And we are alone. The arrows are coming. Fight my fight. I asked God. Literally, I use these words. And talk to me. I literally use these words, fight my fight. Fight our fight. Because we are alone, nobody's care about us. And that day, I took a brand new Bible I had from Pakistan. Brand new Bible. क्योंकि जहाँ बाइबल खुली होती है, अगर आप खोलें तो likelihood है कि वो random नहीं होती ना, फिर वो likelihood है कि वहीं से खुलेगी जहाँ पहली खुली. So brand new Bible, so there's no, every page has a random chance of opening. So I opened it, and here's the verse that came up. And these are my words, that God fight our fight. Okay? And that's where the exciting part is coming. I want you to listen. It is hair raising for me, and I hope it will be for you as well, what God has done for us. Hang on a second. I open this. Okay. Exodus, out of the whole Bible. Exodus 14:10. When Pharaoh drew near, the people of Israel lifted up their eyes, and behold, the Egyptians were marching after them. Everybody knows this story. And they feared greatly. The fear took over them. And the people of Israel cried out to the Lord. They said to Moses, is it because there are no graves in Egypt that you have taken us away to die in the wilderness? What have you done to us in bringing us out of Egypt? Is not this what we said to you in Egypt? Leave us alone that we may serve the Egyptians, for it would have been better for us to serve the Egyptians than to die in the wilderness. Right? Egyptians are coming us. Cancer is coming after us, God. And the fear has taken over. Help me fight our fight. Nobody's fighting our fight. And look, and Moses said to the people, this was actually the first verse that came to mind. I'm just quoting the whole context. And Moses said to the people, fear not. Stand firm and see the salvation of the Lord, which way he will work for you today. For the Egyptians whom you see today, you will never see again. The cancer that you see. And this is the verse, the key, the golden verse. It says, the Lord will fight for you. First time the word fight I heard in the Bible, the reference, because I was saying fight our fight. Nobody's fighting our fight. We are alone. Lord will fight your fight. And you have only to be silent. एक दूसरे translation लिखा है, and here's what I want you to do. Stand there and be quiet. That's how you help God sometime. I think sometimes you help God by not doing anything. Because the difficult part is being silent and trusting God and not trying to अपनी टांग नहीं अड़ानी खुदा के कामों में, right? That sometimes is very difficult. He said, I give you a task. Stand there and just watch what I'm going to do. And suddenly it was so supernatural to me, because exactly this, somebody's fighting our fight. And I'm just contemplating on that, and I came out, and she's sitting on the sofa. The people who have seen our house, the sofa, and she's sitting there. I came out of the room, and I said, this is what, and I used to share with her every day, pray, and this is what God has told today. This is what God has said today. This is what Bible has. And I said, today God has said this to us. And this is verse God opened, that I will fight your fight. And we're sitting there. It was about 8 o'clock. 9 o'clock, the phone rang. Now here's interesting, but the story, the plot is taken around. So 9 o'clock, the phone rang, and picked up the phone and says, "This is Nurse XYZ." I forgot her name. She's a wonderful black lady, and she said, "Remember, you came to see the doctor that I forgot his name, the first doctor who said that I'm a chemotherapist, not like the radiation oncologist." She said, "Remember?" I said, "Yeah, we forgot about it because he was a chemo guy." She said, "He gathered a team of specialists, 6 specialists. He presented them your case." You see what's happening? God was fighting our fight. We didn't even know it. He did not have to gather the team of specialists. We just went there, see, and we gone. He gathered a team of 6 specialists from Southwestern. He presented them your case. She said, but unfortunately, 4 of them said that you do need radiation. But 2 of them said that you don't. First time I wanted to hear a sign that somebody says you don't need radiation. That there's a possibility that this can be handled without radiation. And I said, I didn't even know that God was fighting our fight. 6 specialists were gathered, and they looked at her case, and God brought into our life a specialist who said she does not need radiation. And one of them wants to see you, and he will monitor you. And he said, if needed, then we'll do something, but if not, I'll just closely monitor you. And we started to go see him. And every 3 months, every time you go, you pray and you say, let's see what he's going to say. It was horrible. I mean, you go and say, okay, he opened your mouth. I said, he's going to find something out today. He's going to find something out today. You don't know this. I mean, many of people do, but I hope you don't have to be in that situation. Your heart beat faster, say, what this x-ray is going to tell you, what this scan is going to tell you today. We went there for 2 years. November was, and he said, if you are okay, if you're clean for 2 years, then you're out of danger. Then I will see you every 6 months and then a year. So November, the 2 years completed, and the cancer has not come back. So I asked God that if this happens, I will go and tell everybody about you. So I'm doing it so that he get glorified, because I promised with him that I will share that story with everybody. And if I don't do it, I'll be guilty, standing guilty in front of God. And that was the reason I want to share with as many people as I can, because I asked God that I will do it, what he has done. And he fights your fight. And don't want to go maybe one more minute. You all know when the Pharaoh, the Israelis coming out, it was a worst situation. The Moses says, go this way. The worst place to be in. The worst. Strategically, no commander or military commander will ask you to do this. Ocean and then army behind, basically. A situation where the only thing, the way you can get out is with the supernatural gods. And we are in that situation. We thought nobody's fighting our fight, but I found out that God was fighting our fight. When you ask him that he fight your fight, he will fight your fight. It was a personal experience. I've never experienced God like this before. I didn't call other people for prayer, even though I felt. I said, I want to know myself who my God is. My personal experience, the moment of truth, right? A moment of truth comes in people's life and things becomes real, the way they are. When upar ka wo parda hat jata hai and you see it clearly, and that's what happened to me. So 2 years, abhi bhi mere zehn mein khayal aata hai, the devil put the doubt in my mind, and she said, no, it's gone. And remember, the prophet came once here, remember? And he also prayed for it. She said, it's gone. It was like about a year ago. But all those are signs. It's God who is for me. जब अंधे को मसीह ने ठीक किया तो उन्होंने बोला कि उसमें तो डीमन, आई डोंट नो, ऑल आई नो इज दैट ही गिव मी अ साइट, राइट. वो कौन है? मैनी पीपल से वो दिस, टू मी ही इज माय हीलर. जीसस इज माय हीलर. And this is my song, this is my new song I'm sharing with you. God bless you.
Hallelujah.
And just be encouraged that your God is a good God. And He fights your fight.
Amen.
मैं पापों में डूबा, ऐसा डूबा, ऐसा डूबा, आँखों में थे आंसू, सबने छोड़ा, सबने छोड़ा, पर तू आया मेरे जीवन में, लेके मुक्ति, लेके प्यार. यीशु तू है महान, तेरी जय, तेरी जय, तेरी जय. यीशु तू है महान, तेरी जय, तेरी जय, तेरी जय. तू जो आया मेरे जीवन में, लेके खुशियाँ, लेके प्यार. यीशु तू है महान, तेरी जय, तेरी जय, तेरी जय. तू जो आया मेरे जीवन में, लेके खुशियाँ, लेके प्यार. यीशु तू है महान, तेरी जय, तेरी जय, तेरी जय. सबने छोड़ा, सबने छोड़ा, पर तू आया मेरे जीवन में, लेके मुक्ति, लेके प्यार. यीशु तू है महान, तेरी जय, तेरी जय, तेरी जय. दुनिया में मैं घूमता था, पर तू आया मेरे जीवन में, लेके मुक्ति लेके प्यार। यीशु तू है महान, तेरी जय तेरी जय तेरी जय। तू जो आया मेरे जीवन में, लेके खुशियाँ लेके प्यार। यीशु तू है महान, तेरी जय तेरी जय तेरी जय। तू जो आया मेरे जीवन में, लेके मुक्ति लेके प्यार। यीशु तू है महान, तेरी जय तेरी जय तेरी। मैं पापों में डूबा, ऐसा डूबा ऐसा डूबा, आँखों में थे आंसू, सबने छोड़ा सबने छोड़ा, पर तू आया मेरे जीवन में, लेके मुक्ति लेके प्यार। यीशु तू है महान, तेरी जय तेरी जय तेरी जय। यीशु तू है महान, तेरी जय तेरी जय तेरी जय। तू जो आया मेरे जीवन।
सुन लीजिए, हमारा खुदा जिंदा खुदा है और उसकी हर बात जिंदगी और सच्चाई पर मबनी है। वो मौजज़ात का खुदा है। वो कल भी मौजज़े करता था, वो आज भी मौजज़े करता है, क्योंकि उसकी आंखें ज़मीन की सैर करती हैं। और मेरा आका, मेरा खुदावंद, मेरा परवरदिगार, मेरा रब्बुल अफ़ाज यानी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि यीशु मसीह नासी जब किसी की तरफ देखता है तो उसी वक्त शिफा पा जाता है, क्योंकि उसके देखने के सबब से बदरूहें निकलती और इब्लीस को आग लगती है, क्योंकि हमारा खुदा जिंदा खुदा है। सबने छोड़ा सबने छोड़ा, पर तू आया मेरे जीवन में, लेके मुक्ति लेके प्यार। यीशु तू है महान, तेरी जय तेरी जय तेरी जय।
जीवन में लेके मुक्ति लेके प्यार। यीशु तू है महान, तेरी जय तेरी जय तेरी जय। तू जो आया मेरे जीवन में लेके खुशियाँ लेके प्यार। यीशु तू है महान, तेरी जय तेरी जय तेरी जय। तू जो आया मेरे जीवन में लेके मुक्ति लेके प्यार। यीशु तू है महान, तेरी जय तेरी जय तेरी जय। मैं पापों में डूबा, ऐसा डूबा ऐसा डूबा। आँखों में थे आंसू, सबने छोड़ा, पर तू आया मेरे जीवन में लेके मुक्ति लेके प्यार। यीशु तू